You know what's sad? One of the strongest and most interesting drivers of the modern era retired, and he never got anywhere near the credit he deserved on the way out. You never really know what you have till it's gone, and I think that wholeheartedly applies to Nico Rosberg. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. They came up together. They were childhood friends for nearly 2 decades until the drive for a championship drove them apart. Their second race together was a low-key team orders flashpoint in its own right. He was one half of the social media firestorm that was the biggest blood feud F1's had this decade. But he's also won 23 times, had 30 pole positions, 20 fastest laps, 57 podium finishes, and is the only man who has beaten Lewis Hamilton in the hybrid era. Think about that the next time you see one of Lewis's scintillating pole laps this weekend. The only black mark against his name since the Mercedes switch saved his career is the man we thought would never be able to do it. But he did. I've always felt sorry for Nico. Until that ultimate glory in 2016, I've always felt like he was in the shadow of someone else. From his famous world champion dad Keke of 1982 fame, to playing second fiddle to the rise of fall of Schumacher 2, to being in the shadow of Lewis Hamilton as he finally reached the promised land again, 6 years after his world title. But that's the beauty of Nico. He was always there. He was never the most spectacular, the most charismatic, or entertaining, but he was a damn good driver, and he pushed Lewis to the limit twice in the 3 times they battled for a world title, and once coming out on top, even when Lewis broke team orders in the last desperate bid to back the wagon up. That same race, Nico pulls off the greatest pass of his career on Max Verstappen. A true pass of a world champion. I don't care what you tell me, Lewis wouldn't be the best driver of this generation if it wasn't Nico Rosberg forcing him to be this good. And you look back on it down the road, you can tell this still grates Lewis to this day. Say what you will about his near-flawless 2018 campaign, it's clear that Nico did manage to get into his head. When he won his 4th title in Mexico last year, he was quick to point out he wanted to chase records, unlike others, a direct shot at Nico's retirement. There was still the rumour that Lewis had a hand in vetoing Rosberg doing the podium interviews in his home rounds of Monaco and Germany. Rosberg will forever be the thorn in Lewis's side, the one who got away, the lost title he never had the chance to avenge. Damn that Malaysian power unit and the Kerbal Wellenlager that came with it. Think about that too now Valtteri Bottas is there as his rather boring replacement. Val has genuinely been very unlucky this season and has improved on last year for sure, but has it ever felt like Bottas has had a chance to topple Lewis? It just hasn't. Going winless in this climate says it all. The comments that Toto made, calling him a wingman in Hungary, clearly hurt him, and when he's admitting to helping Lewis win the title, combined with Ferrari's incompetence and playing blocker at Monza, again, it makes you remember that those early hybrid years were better and more intriguing than we gave them credit for. We see it all the time in sport. Guys who hung around just a little too long and the book closes on a sour note. Michael Schumacher, George Best, Kobe Bryant, Chuck Liddell. Nico got to close it out on top. The media, try as they did, had to make Nico the centre of attention. He got to go out his way, breaking every narrative and every negative story out of the water in a blaze of glory as he lifted his World Championship trophy high. He was called a coward, a pussy for putting his family first. Me? I can't think of a better way to have bowed out. So a salute to you, Nico Rosberg. An incredible career, and a win for all the true grafters out there who had to fight from the ground up on nearly everything he got in F1 and wrote his own story on the way out, and not the one that sells you the most papers or gets you the most clicks. And man, do we miss you more than ever.
Special thanks for Danny Brennan, whose tweet thread about this over the weekend in Singapore inspired this video. Follow him on Twitter at DannyBrennan72. He's still pretty smug about winning the Motorsport 101 Fantasy League. But if you liked the video, feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back later this week for another Drebrief video. Thanks for watching.